Hi, I'm Derek, business systems coach for contractors. And being a general contractor, one of the most difficult jobs you could ask for. It's very, as the name implies, general. You're dealing with all the different trades, all the different things that go into a project. Nothing is really straightforward. So kudos to you for getting some help with this, learning some new stuff. I'm going to be sharing with you general contractor training of 3 different areas that you can improve your skills, tips, tricks, and some special hints coming right up. All right, so before we jump in, make sure to give this video a big thumbs, likes up, click the button, give it a big like. Super appreciated. Glad you're here. Best way to build your business, subscribe to the channel. Again, click the link. It's all good. First place that we're going to be looking at general contractor training is estimating and proposals. This is one of the early things that any good general contractor needs to get right and have set up in their system of the business. So estimating and proposals, templates and systems are going to be huge, right? So building out your template list, starting with generally like a large template is best. So let's say you do kitchens and bathrooms, you're going to have a kitchen template, you're going to have a bathroom template. You may have the two together, and then the bigger the template that you have, the easier it is just to delete items off of it, right? So instead of starting with something like basic and then trying to add all the extra stuff, have a pretty robust built out template. And then if you don't need line items, you just delete them out of there, right? It's pretty simple. And then some sort of system to go along with this. So hopefully you're using some sort of software. Again, I'm going to be sharing with you the 3 different areas. I have like business courses specifically that goes into detail and depth and provides spreadsheets and digital resource and all that stuff for all these training topics that we're going to be talking about today. Stick around to the end. I'll tell you how to get in touch and get those for yourself. There's also, I have videos specifically on these 3 areas. So there's other videos on the YouTube channel that you can go check out for more information about any one of these if you feel that you want to dive into it a little bit more. Getting back into estimating proposals, your estimating system, there's really a lot that goes into estimating, and a lot of contractors believe that it's just numbers, we plug them in and you build an estimate and that's about it. But there's actually pretty big system, because it's taking everything from like the first meeting of the client to writing down the scope of work to understanding what they need, going from there, getting proper notes, getting proper information, plugging it into your system, having the templates set up, having your cost codes, having your standardized pricing lists and all that stuff that goes into it. So it's a pretty big system when it boils down to have it effective, and it's more than just like relying off your memory. And the thing with all 3 of these areas that we're going to be talking about is you want to be thinking of it like, if I needed someone else to do this, which eventually, if you don't already, you will as you grow and expand and scale your business, you're not going to be doing this anymore. So do you want your new hire just going off of their experience, which may be very different than yours, to build out estimates? Probably not, because there's going to be discrepancies between pricing, between wording, and just their ability to perform at a high level. So when you're putting this together, you need to be thinking, how can I train someone, or how would someone use this effectively so that they can do what I'm doing without me, right? So get a little high level there, but that effectively is the idea that you should be taking away from this general contractor training, is not just improving your own ability, which is awesome, but how do you instill that, to provide that to somebody else to fill that position and manage that part of your business. So second thing I'm going to talk about with estimates and proposals is you want it to be graphically pleasing, but yet still readable. So this is like one of the first things the client's going to see from your business. Like, they've probably checked out your website, you've done the on-site consultation or whatever, and done a little bit of sales with them. But this quote is going to be like where they're going to really compare you with other companies. So you want it to be graphically pleasing, not overloaded with a whole bunch of different stuff, but there is really effective ways to provide some sort of link. And on the estimate, have everything very detailed and straightforward, but like visually pleasing and very readable, as well as it's a great place to have some marketing material. So definitely have your logo, your contact information. You could have a little blurb, like, your tagline, or even like a little, about us section on your estimate. So again, don't overload it, but you can use your estimate as another marketing material, right? So that they can see like, oh, this is what's important to the company. Oh, this is, their colors, their logo, whatever, some pictures of their team, maybe of you or your team or whoever. So use it to your advantage and help differentiate what you provide to the client from your competition, who maybe just be sending them spreadsheets or something more generic. So that's a great tip to improve your estimating. Okay, makes sense. Moving on to point number 2, project management, right? So another place to really get trained up and excel is your project management, because again, as you grow, this is going to be the probably number one key position besides like sales, of course, like feeding the engine of like your revenue, but project management is what's going to make or break your company as you expand. Projects are mismanaged, shit goes sideways, your company's going to get a bad reputation and things can really fall apart pretty quickly, as well just going over budget and not managing employees and everything like that. So improving your project management training is going to be super important, and good thing you're in the right place. The first thing we're going to talk about is schedules. I think we've all been there, I'm sure have, where schedules kind of you whatever wing it and you're like, oh, this should take a month or 2 months or whatever, and then it ends up taking twice as long. So having a proper scheduling process in place, super important, and also something that is real time, right, that you can adjust easily and everybody can have access to. So if you don't have any project management software, there are other things available, even like free kind of versions that you can get for Gantt charts, the chart with all the different tasks and the timelines and everything like that. So no real excuse not to be using this in your business, but scheduling is a very important part of being a project manager, as well as a business owner, because you're generally going to be managing your projects, especially when you start, or training other people to do it. Another couple of tips and tricks about scheduling is make sure you're buffering between trades. So let's say your electricians come in, you've calculated that it should take them, a week to change the service panel and wire out the house. You're doing a full home renovation or whatever. Ask them, is a week enough? And they may be like, no, we need at least 8 or 9 days. So put that in your schedule, right? If it's exaggerated, push back or ask them why they think it's going to take them that long. But generally, they should know best how long it's going to take them. Put that in your schedule and then put a buffer of a day or two before or after key areas, especially if there's like, inspections, because stuff can come up in inspections and then you're going to need another day or two for them to come back and actually fix what it is to get the inspection passed and move on to the next stage. So make sure you're putting some buffering in your schedules. Yeah, I mean, that's really about it. But having this in place, again, make sure that your project managers know the schedule, you know the schedule, and your clients can see the schedule. They maybe don't have to see every piece of the schedule, but they should generally know where things are tracking. And if something comes up, explain to them like, hey, we uncovered this, it's going to take another week. The schedule's now been pushed out a week, right? Better to do that in increments than to kind of get later on and be like, hey, you know what? Things didn't go as well as we thought. Now it's going to be another 2 months to end your project or whatever, right? So won't keep going on about that, but scheduling is super important. Second part, you still with me? Still following me? There's a lot that goes into this. Production and quality. Project management, production and quality, right? That's the two kind of things besides the speed, which we talked about with the scheduling. So on the production side, talking with guys, being super clear what the expectations are, and having things managed effectively where you've got a system in place for the production that's going on. And then quality, it really boils down to knowledge, and then also having like a proper checklist, like a punch out checklist, going through all the rooms, going through whichever, stage of the project in, if it's rough in or finish or whatever, having a checklist. And again, if you want help with getting some of these documents or getting these systems in place, reach out to me, be happy to help you. It's what we do through Rapid Sales Creators. So checklist for quality, just go through the checklist, do we got drywall backing? Do we got, the cripples and the headers in the right place? Are the window sizes the right? Are the door sizes right? Is the, subfloor screwed down? So whatever, there's generally the same kind of things on any project that needs to get checked on, and making sure that everything is in the right place and done before you move on to the next stage, so that you're not at drywall or installing cabinets and you realize your walls are way out of level or spotlights are all over the place or what have you. So super important part of being a general contractor. And then client communication. I mean, this could really be communication with anybody on your team, clients, subcontractors, all that kind of stuff. But communication is going to make or break a company, and being really upfront, being open, being honest, roles and responsibilities, expectations, all that kind of stuff should be on paper, should have stuff in place, as well as giving people, just phone calls, having a system like maybe Slack or whatever you're using for project management software often has a messaging feature. And communicating isn't just, talking or texting, it's also photos. There's a lot of different stuff, even just having access to the data in a cloud file system. So lots of stuff about communication, and be clear about how you want to communicate and what's the best way to communicate, and train your team on communication. There's so much to learn in this area, and it's a place that you want to be able to train yourself. And a lot of the stuff it's like you kind of think as a general contractor, I know this, I know how to communicate, I know how to, do production and quality and scheduling, and I've been doing this for years and stuff like that. There's always more to learn. There's always better ways to do it. And it's one thing to know how to do it yourself. It's another thing how to teach someone or write it down in a process and actually be able to delegate that to someone. So that should be your mindset when going through this. Okay, take a little break now. Again, any questions, drop a comment. Let me know. I do read the comments. I'll answer them. I'll help you out. If there's something specific you want me to expand on, or you're wondering about how to get specific training on one of these areas, by all means, drop a comment, reach out. So number 3, still with me? Know your numbers. So important in contractor training. Something you should be getting training on is how to read financial reports, how to set up financial reports, how to do proper job costing, cash flow, know your overhead, know your cost of goods sold, know leads coming in, your marketing, what your conversions are, what your average job sizes are, how to set all that stuff up. So this is a big area. Knowing your numbers, so effective, especially as you start to level up. As you start to level up, you've got managers taking care of kind of the day-to-day stuff. As a high-level business owner, this is the information that you're going to be running your company with. Sure, you'll still be meeting with your people and your team and checking out the site sometimes and knowing what's going on inside your business, but your decisions are going to be much more based on the numbers that are coming into your business, communicating with your sales team, how many leads are coming in, what our closing ratio is, job sizes, all that kind of stuff. You're going to be looking at that and getting a feel for what's going on. Production side of things, same thing, knowing your numbers and having those systems set up where you can see your financial reports, your job costing per project, which projects are paying you the most, which projects are always seem to be laggards, which general areas or types of clients are the best, all that kind of stuff, right? So knowing your numbers, super important. Another place to get really great training and get set up. So thanks so much for watching. If you want help with this, there is a free course called How to Build a Business That Works Without You. It's how to start setting up your systems, standard operating procedures, some of the benefits of them, some of the roadblocks of getting this implemented. I know I've struggled with this in my contracting company, help others. It's one thing to have a system and know how to use it, but then try to implement it and get your guys on board and make it work with your other systems is just a mess. So get out the free course. Check out the other videos as well. If you want more specifics with how to grow your construction business, subscribe and check out these other videos. See you on the next one.